Hey guys, Eric Anneman here from Sittin Sportside podcast. Of course, Sittin Sportside Sundays, 11 a.m. on 104.5 The Team. But this is the podcast, 1045theteam.com. It's a little bit of a bonus podcast. We went to the Hall of Fame Classic, or I went to the Hall of Fame Classic about a month ago. And Kyle Kendrick, if you listen to that interview that's up on 1045theteam.com and youtube.com/team1045 and the Sittin Sportside podcast tab, where all our podcasts are located. I talked to Kyle Kendrick about his wife, who played Survivor on season 10, season 11, and season 20. And actually, she was at the game, and I actually caught up with her as well. So I'm going to play that interview back for you right here. Little bonus podcast if you're a Survivor fan. My interview with her, it's all about 3 to 4 minutes. And I appreciate you guys listening to it. So here it is. So I'm here with Stephenie LaGrossa, Survivor legend, runner-up in season 11. So what have you been up to recently?
Being a mom. Right, I just had a baby, my third baby. She is almost 7 months. So keeping busy with 3 kids.
Have you gotten a call at all, and would you go back eventually?
I can't say if I've gotten a call or not.
Okay.
But I would. I think I would. Maybe. I mean, it's hard now that I have 3 kids.
Right.
You know, it's not just about me anymore. And if I get hurt, you know.
Because there's the shoulder, right, in Heroes vs. Villains?
Yeah, and you just, you know, you get older. You know, when I was 24, I felt invincible. Like, of course, nothing can happen to me. But now I've got 3 kids. I'm a little more, like, worried about things because if something happens to me, besides my husband, who's going to take care of them?
Right.
So, but I mean, I would. I still have it in me.
Nice. I'd be there for it. Runner-up to Danny Boatwright in season 11, Guatemala. How do you think she would do it on all-winter season?
On an all-winter season? I don't know. I mean, if she flew under the radar again, maybe she'd win. But it depends. I mean, we're all older now.
Right.
So
famously in Palau, right? I think you were the first. You and Bobby John were the first fire making challenge.
That's right.
They brought that. Now it's like the Final Four twist every single year.
That is, and so that was like the origination of it, I believe, and Exile Island. They'd never had Exile Island and no one by themselves, and I was the first one.
You're the first one to go?
To ever be by myself, well, because I beat Bobby John.
Right.
And I had to go to well, thank God we found a cave. So, yeah, there's a lot of twists now. And then they bring people back or something.
Well, that was this season. Hopefully they don't do it again.
Chance. I don't know what's going on. I'm like...
But what do you make of a Final Four no longer being a vote out now, the fire making? Did you think that is the right, of social capital in the game? Is it the right to... Should they go back to voting people out of 4, or is the fire making like a real, true...
I liked the 4,
right? And
you know, you get picked or you win a challenge, you get to the end, like a real challenge. But because the fire making, I beat Bobby John, but he taught me how to make it, so that was like kind of luck, you know?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I just happened to get the fire going quicker than he did, and it's like, you know, there was an angel sitting on my shoulder that night or something, but. So it's kind of hit or miss, I think, because everybody kind of knows how to make fire. I mean, eventually you got to learn when you're out there.
Last but not least, would you go back to a final? You were in the final 2. Do you like Final 2 better, or do you think Final 3 is good?
I like Final 2.
Yeah. That's how we always
I knew
this started.
I didn't have a chance, though. Like, I pissed everybody off, so. But that's the name of the game. I had to play hard the second time. She was lucky. She didn't have to do anything, really.
Yeah. Would you ever go on any podcast like Rob has? Have you heard of Rob has a podcast? Rob Sister Nuno?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Would you ever go on it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll send this along to him. I don't have any connections, but I'll send him an email, and maybe we'll get on the podcast.
I love all my former Survivor cast mates. You know, whether I was on with them or not, I support all of them in any way. Of course, if they ever wanted to have me on, I would. If I had time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're very busy as a mom.
Yeah, well, just, you know, but I can make time.
Stephenie, thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
Really want to thank Stephenie for that. She was sitting there with her, what was it, 7 or 8 month old. It's really, you know, I was just like so happy to talk to her. I was like, oh, you mean you're a recent mom. You have 3 kids, but like you literally just had a baby you know 7, 8 months ago. So congratulations to her on all she's doing. You know, Kyle was great to talk to me, and she was just as nice. So great young family there. I'm glad they got to see Kyle play at the Hall of Fame Classic. You know that question I asked her at the end there about whether she would go on Rob Has a Podcast. Well, that actually came to fruition. Now, whether I get any credit for that, I don't know. I did send the audio to Rob, but regardless, she has a long-form interview. Not to officially promote it, but if you want to hear more from her, you go to Rob Has a Podcast, wherever you find out that stuff. I'm not going to give you any websites, but just know that she has a longer interview if you want to hear more from her on Rob Has a Podcast. I don't know if I got any credit. I didn't listen to it yet, but I think I deserve some credit. I mean, that's I'm not gonna mince words here, but I'm so glad that she was able to do that on a long form interview. Rob does a great job with all the stuff that he does there. Like I said before, at the top of the podcast, all of our Hall of Fame Classic interviews from 2017, 2018, and this past year are on youtube.com/team1045, the Sittin Sportside podcast tab, or just go to 1045theteam.com, click on Sittin Sportside, click on the podcast tab, and then click on Sittin Sportside podcast. All our podcasts will be in that playlist that's on 1045theteam.com. And as always, please tune in to Sittin Sportside Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Myself and Mike James are brought to you by DeAndre's Pizza. So please tune into that show every single week on 1045 The Team. If you like this interview, please let me know about it at EricH1045. I have been in contact with, of course, Tom Gozlowski of Levac and Gaz about doing a reality show podcast for the station. 1045theteam.com, and same way it gets in Sports by podcast, just be an extension of it, just a different type of podcast. If you're interested in these things and you really enjoyed listening to this interview, I have an interview with Pat Cusack, who's voted out first of David versus Goliath, local guy from Waterville Elite. That's up on our YouTube page as well. If you like those interviews and continuing to have those interviews, we will podcast about shows like Big Brother, of course, Survivor here, and anything else you guys want us to talk about, possibly to do for the website, if you enjoy listening to this. So please let us know about that at 1045 The Team, at EricH1045. And you want to let Goz know at Tom Goz, TOMGOZZ, at TOMGOZZ. Mike James' Twitter handle at Mike James 1045. Yeah, let us know about that. We will do that and try to get more former contestants on the show. Maybe even more than just Stephenie LaGrossa and the wives of former MLB players. I mentioned in the interview, or did I not mention in the interview, but in Kyle I did. Cole Hamels married to Heidi from season 6. So maybe it's just a thing where Philadelphia Philly pitchers marry some former survivors. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But what are the odds of that? And they actually are good friends, Stephenie and Heidi. So I did kind of ramble here at the end, but I really hope to hear from you guys about whether you like the reality TV show coverage. And maybe you'll see that come to fruition pretty soon on 1045theteam.com. Thank you for listening. Sittin Sportside Sundays mornings at 11 a.m. Please tune in. And of course, I want to thank you for Sittin Sportside right here on 1045theteam.com.